Hi, I'm April Plank, and thank you for joining me for today's mat class. We're going to go ahead and lay down onto your mat. And this is going to be an express class that is easily done with no equipment, anywhere, anytime that you want to go. So we're going to take the arms down by the sides, have the feet firmly planted on your mat, and just start with some nice breathing. So take an inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale through those pierced lips, think about your ribs drawing down and together, your belly button pulling deeply into the spine, and that whole corset just starting to engage. Inhaling nice and broad across the rib cage. And then just exhale, sinking and drawing everything in towards the midline. We'll just do that a few more times. Inhaling. And then exhaling. The tailbone is nice and heavy. You're in a nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine. This will be your last one. And then we're going to start to add a little bit of movement to that breath. So take an inhale, your next inhale. And then as you exhale, start to imprint your back, just taking the low back and pressing it firmly against the carriage or the mat. And then you'll start to roll yourself all the way up. So we're just coming up into that nice bridge. The weight should be in the shoulders, but not the neck. The arms are reaching long, and you want to find that tripod in both of your feet. So the heel, the baby toe, and the big toe have equal weight as you extend and lift up high. And now from the very tippy top of the spine, you're going to start to roll your spine down one vertebrae at a time, like a string of pearls, letting each vertebrae rest back down to the mat and end with that heavy tailbone. And then we'll do that again. So scoop the abdominals. Nice big exhale as you round and roll yourself up. Taking a nice big inhale at the top. And then exhale as you slowly roll one vertebrae at a time all the way back down. Coming through that little imprint and then letting the tailbone drop and finding neutral. Let's do one more of those. So exhale as you scoop and roll, coming all the way up into your bridge. Now adding on intensity, put the weight in your left leg and lift your right leg into tabletop. And see if you can do that without too much shifting of the hips. So you want to keep the hips nice and level from side to side. Holding that, we're going to tap the right toe down and lift it back up. Tap it down and lift it back up. At any time you need a break, you can always take a break, drop the hips down. We're going to do that 2 more times, down and up. And then the next time you're up, I want you to hold it. We're going to dip the hips straight down and then lift the hips straight up. So dip the hips down and lift up. So really pushing into that left heel, squeezing through the glutes and hamstrings. 3 more. And then last one. Good, set that right foot down, lift your hips, and then roll your spine all the way down, taking a little rest. We'll do that on the other side now. Take an inhale, and then exhale as you roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time, coming up into that shoulder bridge. Shift the weight into the right leg, lift the left leg, make sure the hips stayed really square and the pelvis stayed still. Dip that left toe down towards the mat, and then back up. Every time you lift the leg, you're using that exhale breath. And the exhale breath is helping you to engage your corset, stay nice and strong through the abs. This will be 2 more to go. Next time you're up, I'd like for you to hold it there and then dip both hips down, squeeze and lift up. Really drive down through that right heel. 3 more, and 2, and 1. Set the foot down, lift the hips if they dropped, and then roll your spine all the way down. Take a nice inhale at the bottom, and let's go up again. We're going to do a different variation on each side, so roll the spine all the way up. Take the right knee, lift it into the chest, then extend it straight up to the ceiling. You're going to flex the foot and drop the leg down. Point the foot and lift it up. It's like your leg is a paintbrush, and you're going to paint the ceiling and the wall behind you, or in front of you, I guess. So you're pushing the leg nice and long, and then lifting it. And as you're moving through that leg, you're keeping your hips really still in space. 2 more to go on this side. This will be your last one. And then when you get to the top, I want you to hold it. Now drop both hips straight down, heavy from the tailbone, lift straight up and make a footprint on the ceiling. So you drop the hips down, squeeze the bottom, lift up. Two more to go. And last one. Nice work. Set that foot down, lift your hips to even, and then roll your spine down to recover. All right, one more to go, you guys. Let's roll our spine back up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Hold the bridge, take that left leg into tabletop, and then extend it up nice and long. Flex the foot and drop it down, and point and bring it up. Keep pushing firmly into that right foot to keep your hips lifting. Your hips are going to want to lower down as you get tired, and you want to really fight that and try to keep those hips as high as you can. Last 3 and 2. This will be our last one, down and up. And then let's make that footprint on the ceiling. Drop the tailbone down. Lift it up and drop it down. Last 2 and 1 more. Awesome work. Set that foot down, lift your hips back up, roll your spine all the way down. Let's give our knees a little hug and give that back a little stretch. Just a little rock side to side, massaging the low back. And then instead of rocking side to side, we're going to start rocking forward and up. I'm going to grab my hamstrings, draw my chin to my chest, and just start rocking little bitty rocks forward and back. Maybe 2, 3, 4, whatever feels good on your back. And then when you're ready, you can roll yourself all the way up and sit. So we're going to sit nice and tall, shoulders down the back. Separate your feet, and then I'm going to scoot back just a smidge so my feet are staying on the mat. Reach your arms in front of you, shoulders down your back. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, it's like someone's giving you a big bear hug from the back. You're going to pull your abs in and start from the very base of your spine. Start to roll yourself down. And then if you get to a point where it feels like you're not going to be able to come up, that's where you're going to stop. Hang out there if you can, and then scoop your abdominals in, roll yourself back up, and sit really tall. So we'll do that again. So I want you to exhale, scoop and roll back. So this is starting to progress and work on our roll-ups. So we're just really starting on the down part, which is the roll down. And the down part's actually a lot easier than the up part. So if you want to stay here today until you feel comfortable, this is a great way to build up the strength you need in your abdominals to be able to do the full roll up and roll down. So I'm going to keep progressing, but if you'd like to make this a little more challenging, then you're going to come with me. So the next thing we're going to do is roll all the way down. So you're going to slowly roll yourself all the way down. Reach the arms long over your head, and then bring the arms up to the ceiling. Nod the chin towards the chest. Start to roll yourself up. Now, if you get stuck, grab onto your thighs and roll yourself the rest of the way up. Reach the arms long, and we'll do it again. So you're going to exhale, roll yourself back. Reach the arms over the head, and then the arms come up. You slightly draw the chin to the chest. You start to take a big exhale as you roll your spine all the way up. Sit up nice and tall. And again, exhale as you roll back. Now moving on to make this a little more challenging. Again, we're just going to keep progressing. We're going to extend the legs nice and long, flex your feet, and have the legs glued together. So now as you exhale, you're going to roll yourself up. Sit up nice and tall, taking an inhale at the top, and then scoop the abdominals and roll back. And this is where it might be nice to grab a friend and have them hold your feet. That'd be a great assist if you've got someone. Or if you've got some kind of a bean bag or some kind of a weighted bag, a yoga sandbag, you could put those on your feet as well, if you happen to have that laying around. Good. And then we'll do it just a few more times. Now another option is you could go all the way back with the legs straight, and then if you're having a hard time coming up, you could pull your knees into the chest and do your roll like that to come all the way up. So that might be a good way to start, so you can get the full all the way down of the rolling down part, using the strength of your abdominals to assist you down, and then pull the knees in and then roll yourself up. So that's a lot of variations you can work with. I want you to choose what feels good for you today. Just know every day is a little different. And then we're going to do one more, and I'll do the full roll up this time and come sit up tall. All right, I'm just going to scoot a little. And then I want you to bend your right leg. You're going to grab that right leg in towards your chest and start to roll yourself back. Now we're going to start doing our abdominal series, and the head's going to stay lifted the whole time, but if you need to lower your head, that is always an option. First thing you're going to do is lift your left leg and reach it long. Now the higher the leg is, the easier. So that's another option, is to keep that leg a little higher. We're going to switch and switch. So every exhale you want to pull one leg in, and every inhale you're kind of doing this passive switch of the legs. Now I'm looking kind of right towards my belly button or my knees, and keeping a nice kind of round position so that my head's not way back here. If I'm looking to the ceiling, I'm going to find a lot of strain. I don't want to do that for too long in my neck. So I'm going to look forward, and that's going to put my head in a better position so that I'm not feeling strain in my neck. But even in this position, if you're feeling strain in your neck, just set your head down. You can totally get the work with your head relaxed. You don't want to ever push to the point of pain or discomfort. All right, I'm going to bring my head back up. I want you to do one more on each side, and then bring both legs in towards you. Bring your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a nice big pull in. And then on an inhale, we're going to stretch the legs and arms in opposition. And then exhale, give yourself that big hug. Inhale, legs glued together, reach the arms over your head, and exhale, back in. Again, the option would be here with the head down if that's too challenging on the neck. Reach and extend the arms and legs. Exhale, circle and pull. Reach and extend the arms and legs. Exhale, circle and pull. I'm going to do two more of those. And last one here. Good. Now between exercises, you can also rest the head down because we're doing 5 exercises. The right leg's going to reach up to the ceiling. You're going to grab behind your calf or hamstring. Your left leg will reach out towards the floor. Pull twice with the right leg and switch, pull twice with the left leg. Now, everyone's hamstrings are a little different, so if your hamstrings are really tight, then you're probably going to be bending the knee a little bit and maybe pulling behind your hamstring like this. Totally fine. You're working at a level, again, that feels good for you and works for your body. If your head's getting tired, please drop it down. Just give that little double pull, double exhale. That double pull just helps us get a little deeper into that stretch. The big exhale helps us incorporate more abdominal. So a big deep exhale, those abdominals kick in. Last 2 and last 1. Now the legs are going to go straight up to the ceiling in a turn out. So I want you to rotate your legs out from the hips. Squeeze your legs straight, reach those toes long to the ceiling. Head can stay down, or hands behind the head, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Now I'm going to lower the legs, and then exhale, strike a match and lift them up. Lower, strike a match and lift them up. Again, it does not have to be big. So if you need to make this smaller, you're going away until you feel you can't maintain neutral through your pelvis. If you start to arch, that you've gone too far, and then pull it back up. So if you can maintain this neutral pelvis and go low, then go for it. But listen to your body and honor where you are. So if you can only go a few inches, that's totally fine. Just do whatever you can, keeping your form good. The most important part is head to hip stays still. No popping of the ribs, no arching, no lifting of the belly button. Last 3 and 2. You guys are doing so good. We've got one more after this, and then we're done with our ab series or series of 5. Pull the knees into your chest. We're going to lift the upper body even more. You're going to take your left leg, reach it long, take your left shoulder, cross it to the right knee. Give me 2 pulses. and switch. Now notice I didn't say elbow, so I don't want you to pull your elbows in and try to pull your elbow to the knee. I want you to keep your elbows back and think of your shoulder lifting. So it's this broad chest, broad through the sternum and the clavicles. Good, give me 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good, pull the knees in and relax. You made it through the ab portion, so take a little side to side rock. And then we're gonna again rock forward and back, grab behind your hamstrings, bring the chin gently to the chest. Just a little bit of rocking, massaging the spine. And then rock all the way up. Now I want you to separate your feet about the length of or the width of your mat, depending on the size of the mat you're on. So I've got my feet flexed, my quads active. I'm gonna lift my chest, reach my arms long. Take the right arm and you're gonna twist. And then you're gonna dive forward like you're taking your pinky finger and taking it to the pinky toe. Stand back up tall and then come to the front. And we'll do the other side. So you do a little twist. You dive over, pinky finger to pinky toe, stack it back up, and back to the center. It's called the saw, if you're thinking of sawing that baby toe off with your baby finger. So you're doing a twist, a dive, up, and up. And your breath is exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. Shoulders relaxed and down. Really great way to get some twisting into the spine, some forward flexion into the spine, really feeling a great hamstring stretch here. If you're feeling that your hamstrings, if your back is round and you need a little bit of support, you can always bend the knees a little bit. The important thing is that you keep your back nice and long. So if you can't sit up straight with the legs straight, then try to sit up straight with the legs bent. Hopefully that helps. Good. One more on each side. And last one. And release. All right, we're going to come onto our stomach. We've done a lot of work for the front of the body. We always want to balance that out with the back of the body. So we're going to do a little bit of back extension work. So I want you to find your place on your mat, just laying down on your stomach. And we're going to take those arms to the sides of you with your arms bent. So kind of a little bit, maybe in line with your shoulders. The first thing I want you to do is engage your pubic bone, or take the pubic bone and gently push it down. Take your legs and reach them long, like energy through both legs. Now very gently, you're going to push into your arms and lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Now when you're pushing into your arms, it's like you're sliding them towards you. You're not pushing them away from you. So if you think of putting a little weight in your arms, sliding your arms towards your body, that's going to help roll your shoulders back and put your shoulder girdle in a really good position. So I'm pushing through the pubic bone, I'm putting a little bit of weight in my hands, and I'm lifting up slightly. Don't go so high that you lose the upper back bend. And it should not be anything happening in the low back, no bending. It's all the upper back. So find that upper back extension and then bring it back down. And again, you're going to push the pubic bone down, not necessarily squeeze the glutes, just push the pubic bone down. Take the weight into your hands slightly and draw your arms back. Start to lift and curl through the head, neck, and shoulders. Now this is a great place to stay, but I'm going to give you a little more options. So come back down, and then we're going to do another one a little more advanced. So go ahead and bring yourself up. This time we're going to release the arms, bring them out to goalpost position. You can take your right arm, reach it forward, pull it back. Left arm forward and back. If you'd like more, then instead of single arms, you have the option of taking both arms forward. So both arms forward, both arms back. If at any point this does not work for your neck, then you're going to go back to the first thing we just did. Last 4 3, and 2, and 1. Good job. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on the pillow. Shake your hips side to side. Release any pressure you might have felt in the low back. One more extension exercise. Again, ground through the pubic bone. Take your right leg and just lift it. Don't focus how high you can lift your leg. Focus how long you can make your leg. You're trying to reach the back wall with your toes and then set it down. Pubic bone, pushing into the mat. Left leg, reach it up. I don't care how high it gets. I'm concerned with how long you can make that leg. You don't want to be doing anything that's going to tweak the low back here. So you want to lengthen the low back, lengthen the leg. Bring it down, and we'll do the other side again. Lift it up and back down. And again, your head can be resting or your head can be just slightly lifted and down. So it's this tiny little degree of glute engagement and spinal extension, or hip extension actually. Good, 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Take your hands right towards your, kind of right with your shoulders. You're going to push back to your knees, round your back, and go into a shell stretch or a child's pose. Same thing, different name. Really important to do any kind of flexion after you do extension, just to give your spine a little bit of rest and kind of rebalance it all. And get ready for planks. Okay, so we've got some planks coming up to work the abdominals. 2 options for you, because I know some people tend to have issues with the wrist. And it can be really hard to do a plank on your wrist if your wrists are bothering you. So you're going to go right into option B, which is on the elbows, bringing one leg back, the other leg back, and finding your plank. If you're totally fine with your hands, then do option A, which is on the hands. I don't know why one's option A and B, but just either option. They're both equally amazing and both equally work great. So you're pushing back through the heels, pulling your abdominals in, doing that little bit of a tailbone tuck. So you're pushing your tailbone down to the mat. So either on the hands or on the elbows, you're going to take your right knee, pull into your chest, send it back, lift it up a little, and set it down. Left knee in, back, little lift, and down. So again, it's that tiny little lift we did before. So I don't want to see your back swaying. It's just a little glute extension through the hip. So you bend in, back, lift, release. In, back, lift, release. 2 more. 1 more. Set the knees down and press into that shell or child's pose. All right, the last little series we're going to do is some side work. So you're going to roll to your side. I've got my left hip on the mat. My right leg is up with my knee facing the ceiling. My left leg is forward. And I've got my left hand a little farther out than my shoulder. So we're going to do the mermaid. So your left arm is going to be on the knee, resting, right arm, sorry. And you're going to take a nice inhale, and then you're going to push into your legs and come into a side plank. Now obviously this is on the wrist again, so let me give you the option to make it a little easier on the wrist. Not an easier exercise, just better on your wrist. So you're going to come down and do the same thing. So you're coming up into your side plank, and then you're setting yourself down. I'm going to continue to do it on my hand. So you can do that on your elbow if you'd like. So you're coming up, and then you're coming back down. Exhaling up and back down. Nice. Let's go 4 more times. And 3. and 2. And this will be your last one. Good job. Okay, let's spin around and do the other side. So now my right hand's a little farther out than my shoulder. My left knee's facing the ceiling, my right knee's facing the front, and my right leg's kind of hooked underneath my left arm, palm up. Take an inhale. And big exhale, push into the feet. Reach the arm long, find that nice long side plank, and then pull it back in. Good. Option on the elbow. Come all the way up into your side plank, and then pull it back in. Reach and extend up, and back in. I'm going back to my hand. You can stay where you'd like. Nice work, you guys. Last 4, and 3. 2 more to go. And last 1. Good job. All right, we're going to finish where we started. So I want you to go ahead and lay down all the way onto your mat. So let's transition there with our roll down. So you can have the legs bent. You can have the legs straight. You're going to scoop your abdominals. Slowly roll yourself all the way down. Take a big long stretch. Reach your arms to one direction. Reach your legs to the other direction. And then take that right leg, pull your right knee into your chest, and give that leg a little hug. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling. Give your calf a little pull, or the hamstring. Bend it back in towards your chest, and then set it back down. Bring the left knee into your chest, give it a nice big hug. And then extend the leg, give that calf or hamstring a nice pull. And then bend it back in. And then take both knees into your chest, just that little rock side to side. And then we're just going to rock kind of all the way over to the side. I might fall off if I rock too far, but hopefully you're on the ground. So you're going to rock all the way over and come all the way up to seated. And that was a very quick express mat class that you can do when you're traveling without your reformer. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in another class. Thanks, and have